Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. Here is another video in hydraulics. This series of problems are past civil engineer licensure exams in hydraulics. And I hope that through my effort of uploading solutions to past civil engineer licensure exam problems, not only in hydraulics, in math, or maybe in the future in structural engineering and construction, I'll be able to contribute to your success. And by patiently watching my videos, I hope that I can transform you to be better engineering students. Problem 1. This graphically represents the relationship for pipes among the dimensionless parameters such as friction factor F, Reynolds number, R sub E, and the relative surface roughness E over D. So this is the Moody chart or the Moody diagram. That's the answer. You can use this chart in estimating friction factor when the roughness coefficient is known as well as the diameter. But also, this Moody chart is the same as using the Colebrook equation, which is 1 over square root of f equals negative 2 log of quantity E over 3.7 diameter plus uh, 2.51 over quantity Reynolds number square root of f in estimating friction factor. So it's the same. So I do not normally use this Moody chart because I just want the equation. And it's difficult to estimate the friction factor to four significant figures using the Moody chart. It is the ratio of the absolute viscosity to the mass density of the fluid. So viscosity or kinemat viscosity or absolute viscosity or coefficient of viscosity divided by the mass density of the fluid is called kinematic viscosity. And third, water jumps from a depth of 32 centimeters to 88 centimeters in an open rectangular channel 3.5 meters wide. So find the discharge in cubic meters per second. Discharge capital Q equals small q times B. And this small q, where B is 3.5, of course, this small q can be calculated from the hydraulic jump formula. Small q square over G equals depth 1 times depth 2 over 2 quantity depth 1 plus depth 2. So since depths 1 and 2 are known, substitute q square over 9.81 equals 0.32 times 0.88 over 2 quantity 0.32 plus 0.88. So solving for small q, it is equal to 1.287 cubic meters per second per meter width of channel. Then the discharge is capital Q is obtained by multiplying it by 3.5. So 1.287 times 3.5, you'll get 4.505 cubic meters per second. Problem 4, a floating cylinder 10 centimeters in diameter and weighing 982 grams is placed in a cylindrical container 25 centimeters in diameter that is partially full of water. Find the increase in the depth of water in the container due to the placing of the float. To help visualize the situation, to help analyze, so we have a bigger container 25 centimeters in diameter or 12.5 centimeters in radius, and the floating cylinder 10 cm in diameter or 5 cm in radius, and it weighs 982 grams. So this is 12.5 centimeter radius, and this floating cylinder here is 5 centimeters in radius. This was the original water level. Then when the floating cylinder is placed inside, the water level rises to that level, and we denote the increase in the water level as delta. And this is now the real situation. We have the mass 982 grams. So the buoyant force is density of water, which is 1 gram per cubic centimeter, times volume displaced. And the volume displaced is denoted as shown. So take note that when the cylinder is lowered or floated below the original line, this volume here will transfer to that side. So this volume is volume of big cylinder minus volume of small cylinder, and we equate that to this volume below the original level, volume bounded by the original level and the floating cylinder. Now, the radius of the floating cylinder is 5 cm. The radius of the container, bigger container, is 12.5 cm. So summation weight equals buoyant force. The weight is 982 grams and buoyant force is 1 times volume displaced. So volume displaced is also 982 cubic centimeters. From this volume displaced, we can compute the draft. The draft is equating 982 to pi 5 square times the draft. Then the draft is equal to that value, 100, uh, that value there. So as mentioned earlier, uh, this volume is area of big circle minus area of small circle times delta. That's the volume. Pi quantity 12.5 square minus 5 square times delta is equal to this volume here below the original level of water, but inside the floating cylinder, and that volume is equal to pi 5 square times quantity draft minus delta. So pi quantity 12.5 square minus 5 square times delta, this volume here, which is the volume which is shifted to that uh, space around this smaller cylinder, then it is equal to volume displaced, this total volume displaced here, minus the that volume, this volume here, which is pi 5 square times delta. So notice that pi times negative 5 square delta, we also have negative pi 5 square delta can be cancelled. So what remains here is pi 12.5 square times delta equals 982. So solving for delta, delta is 2 centimeters. So that's it for this portion of the slide. So for the last problem, the water supply for a city is pumped to a distribution reservoir. The pumping rate is 600 cubic meters per 4 hours. The estimated requirements every 4 hours are shown below. So we have here the hours. That's 4 hours from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. Then 4 a.m. to 8 a.m., 8 a.m. to 12 noon, 12 noon to 4 p.m., 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., 8 p.m. to 12 midnight again. So this would be the demand given 200 cubic meters for at 4 a.m. At 8 a.m. 800, 1,100 at 12 noon. Then when at 4 p.m. 700, uh, 8 p.m. 500, 12 midnight 300. Of course, the demand will decrease when the when midnight is reached or closed. So only a few people will require water at 12 midnight and at from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. The majority of the people are still sleeping at that period. So for the volume in cubic meters in the reservoir, since it is stated here that that uh, at 8 a.m. the reservoir contains 700 cubic meters. So how much water is in the reservoir at 20th hour or at 8 p.m. here? So at 8 a.m. it contains 700 cubic meters. Then between 8 and 12, the demand is 1,100. The pumping rate is only 600. So there is a balance of 1,100 minus 600. So that extra volume of water should be taken from the reservoir. So since the reservoir originally contains 700 cubic meters as stated here, then minus the demand which will taken from it because the pumping rate is only 600, so that's 1100 minus 600. So the other demand, which is 500, which cannot be supplied by the pump, should be taken from the reservoir. So 700 minus 500, there will be 200 cubic meters left at 12 noon. Then between 12 noon to 4 p.m., the demand is 700 cubic meters. The pumping rate is only 600 cubic meters for 4 hours. So that means another 100 cubic meter volume should be taken from the reservoir. Since the reservoir contains 200 cubic meters minus 100, so there will be 100 cubic meters left in the reservoir. Then between 4 p.m. and 8 a.m., the demand reduces to 500 and the pumping rate is 600. So that means uh, the pumping rate 600 is in excess of 100 cubic meters. So where should that 100 cubic meters go? It should be to the reservoir. The source of the reservoir should be the excess pumping rate. So 600 minus 500, 100. So the reservoir content will be added by 100. So 100 plus 100 is 200 cubic meters. So the 20th at 20th hours or at 8 p.m., the reservoir contains 200 cubic meters. So that's it for this video.